And so next we'll set up for our restorative pose. And this is where you need a couple of blankets and a strap. You can use a chair instead if you have, but today we're going to play with a little bit of forward folding before we come into the restorative pose. So if you have a blanket, or pillows, couch cushion, whatever you've got, basically you just need to elevate the legs comfortably. And the purpose of the strap is so all the muscles that have been working today, especially the inner thighs that connect to the pelvic floor, so they can really release as we come into our restorative pose. So you'll take a strap, or if you don't have a strap, a scarf would totally work. Basically something long and skinny that you can wrap around the top blanket and your legs. I really like to feel support underneath my knees, so you can play with this a little bit. You can roll the top blanket or just scooch in. And then tighten the strap so that the legs feel secure. And we're going to recline in a moment, but before we do so, you're welcome to play with sitting up tall, and that could feel hard here. So maybe that's enough, and you can gently rock from side to side. If it feels like you have more space, and there might even be like a little craving, you can allow the spine to elongate forward and do that same thing, just a gentle rocking from side to side. And then tune into the breath. And you can be really subtle here, or a little more dramatic by rocking the weight all the way over to one sit bone and then all the way over to the other. And just like we've been practicing, let the spine follow. Let the head follow. So you're not telling your body where to go. It's almost like you're just riding in a current. The current is taking you. And then when you feel ready, actually I'm noticing I want a little bit more, so give yourself that space. I know a lot of times I tell people not to stretch, but with the legs supported, you might notice like, oh, I can actually lengthen my spine a little bit more. Maybe enjoy some stillness, maybe massage your feet a little bit. Make sure you're breathing. And even though we're not moving, perhaps you can feel that quality of gathering on the inhale. That sense of drawing in and expanding. And then that offering up, that everything pulls towards the center line and you almost like pew, take off towards the cosmos. Start to kick the heels forward, and when you do that, you should feel like the calves and hamstrings push down into the blanket, and let that send you all the way back to your reclined pose, and wiggle around a little bit. Do whatever you need to get comfortable. And we do have a few minutes to be here before Shavasana. You're also welcome to stay here during Shavasana, especially if it feels really good. There's lots of benefits to inverting. It's good for your heart, and especially if you stand a lot, this can be really therapeutic. And take your time wiggling around, finding the most supportive position for your shoulders, your neck, your spine, your hips. And then let everything start to soften. Pause the music if you haven't already. And let all your focus rest down into the center of the heart. Feel those gentle qualities of the breath. And these restorative poses are more beneficial if you stay conscious. So I invite you to keep your awareness at heart and on breath. But see how relaxed you can become. How spacious and free and light. And we'll rest like this for about 15 minutes. So at any time, if you want to exit this pose and take Shavasana without the legs elevated, that's absolutely fine. Let yourself be still and observe that stillness. Notice any impulse to move and get up and get going, and see if you can release and let yourself just be for a moment longer. And then stay in that being as you start to make gentle movements, perhaps circling the arms big in that gathering motion, snow angeling them overhead, and then stretching long from fingers to toes, and feeling that ever so gentle hugging action that can provide so much support and integration. You're welcome to do that a couple of times and eventually slide the legs out from the strap. And take your time waking up the body and preparing to sit upright, and try to stay in that space of being, just being in tune with the physical body, the breath, and even the deeper, subtler layers of consciousness that awaken when we practice. I thought for our meditation we could do some singing together, because singing really is that same activity of gathering and then offering up our voice, and it has similar energetic effects. The practice we just did helps our body feel uplifted and light. Singing certainly does that for our heart and our energetic body. So we'll be singing Om Namah Shivaya. There's 4 different little melodies, and then it goes back to the first one and repeats. So feel free to jump in once you've got the hang of it. And I invite you to notice that gathering feeling as you inhale, preparing to chant. And as you exhale, maybe you have that sense of feeling a lot of that physical support, so that you can offer up your voice as effortlessly as possible. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Let yourself relax into stillness. You can close the eyes or gaze at a single point. And let the focus drop into the heart. And notice how easy it is to be still and relaxed, yet supported in this moment. And as gently and effortlessly as possible, begin repeating Om Namah Shivaya, tied to the inhale and the exhale. And just like we've been practicing through our physical movements, repeating the mantra with focus really is helping us gather energy. It's subtle energy that builds in the heart center. And the offering it up is to our highest self, the self that we're growing into each time we practice. And so as you inhale with Om Namah Shivaya, imagine gathering that richest nourishment at the heart. And as you exhale, imagine all of that energy being deposited in the heart center. And the offering it up is offering it up to your highest self, this being at your core. And let yourself relax, completely releasing the mantra. If the eyes were closed, ever so gently begin to open them and see if you can keep your awareness at the center of the heart as you start to see the room in front of you and then slowly the space all around you. And just notice how your perspective may have shifted over the past 90 minutes. And whatever balance and uplift you're feeling right now, it's always available with conscious breath. So I invite you to enjoy this state for the rest of your day. And you know, the work we do, it might feel easy, but it is so deeply strengthening. It wakes a lot up. So I invite you to just notice over the rest of your day, if you go to lift something heavy, or you're going for a run, or you're doing some kind of activity you do all the time, notice if it feels easier or more effortless, or you just feel lighter or happier. And I would love to hear what you discover. So enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks so much for practicing. Aloha, everybody.